All right, let's go ahead and get you a SendGrid account. SendGrid is going to be responsible for delivering the emails from ClickFunnels to your prospects and your customers' inboxes, okay? Think of it like kind of it's the fuel. It's what sends everything out so that these emails can arrive inside of the inbox. So it's important that we go ahead and set up a SendGrid account. So below this video, you'll see a button. That button's gonna take you over to SendGrid to get a free account with SendGrid. I am on SendGrid right now, as you can see, and I'm actually gonna go through this process with you, okay? So before we move any further, I want you to understand that this might feel really techy, but I promise you, I am like the least technical person, and I'm gonna be able to accomplish this with you, okay? So I'm going to start at ground zero from scratch with you in a brand new SendGrid account. So if you follow along with me, you're gonna be able to set this up, okay? And I promise you, after you set this up, like I said, it's the most technical thing inside of this, and you're gonna be able to set this up, okay? So after this, you are gonna have tech skills, okay? And again, I'm terrible at tech, and I'm gonna show you how to set this up. Second, also, I'm gonna put a help doc below, just in case you want to go through another perspective of it, okay? I'm gonna insert a help doc below so you can check it out. But if you follow along with this video, you're gonna be able to set this up. So let's dive right in. I am on SendGrid, so if you click that button below, it's gonna bring you're gonna want to sign up for a new account. It's probably gonna ask you for an email and a ridiculously long password to create. Go ahead and put that email in that you wanna use, and also create a password. When you do, it's gonna bring you to a page that looks like this. Again, this is at the time of recording this video. If it changes a little bit, the whole goal right now is just to get a SendGrid account. So I'm going to sign up. So Blake Newbar, company website. So just fill all this out, okay? If you don't have your company website, here will be your lead generator, your lead machine, whatever you're naming it. Okay, that link can be your company website, so you can put that there. Country code, put your phone number in if you want. I'm just using a test one for now. What is your role? You can just put marketer, CEO, whatever you want, right? Just fill that out. How many emails do you send per month? I would go 0 to 100,000. That's perfectly fine. How many employees work at your company? You know this the best. I'm gonna go 1 to 500. Okay, and then click on Get Started right here. Okay, when you click on Get Started right here, it's gonna go ahead and actually create your account. It's probably gonna ask you to verify your email. Okay, you can do that as soon as possible. We can continue forward. So I am going to, first and foremost, you might get a screen that looks like this. Okay, it says create a sender identity. There are two ways to do this, but we recommend creating a single sender identity. You can go ahead and actually get this, you can knock this out now, which is like the sender identity. So click that button, okay? When you do, it's gonna bring over this sidebar here. Just put in your name, okay? Blake Newbar. From email, this is the from email address. So if you already got a work-related email, use that. Again, you're gonna want a work-related email. So whatever your domain name is, for example, I'm using hiddensocialtraffic.com. That means I want my email to be something at hiddensocialtraffic.com. So maybe it's Blake at hiddensocialtraffic.com or support at hiddensocialtraffic.com. You want it to be from the domain, okay? So if you have not signed up to get an email yet, okay, I'm gonna put a link below where you can go get a professional email that's attached to your domain. It's a couple bucks a month, okay, and it makes you look really professional, okay? So I'm gonna do support at hiddensocialtraffic.com. Hiddensocialtraffic.com in this case is the name of my funnel, of my online business. So whatever domain name you picked, okay, that is gonna be your domain name. All you're gonna wanna do is put something in front of it, okay? So like I said, I picked hiddensocialtraffic.com. I'm gonna use support. That means they're all of my emails that I send to my prospects and to my customers. It will come from support at hiddensocialtraffic.com. If you want yours to come from your name, use your first name, okay? If you want it to come from info, if you want it to come from sales, whatever you want to come from, I recommend either your first name or support in this case, okay? Reply to, I'm gonna use the exact same thing right here, okay? The same one. Company address, this is gonna be where you're actually operating from. Maybe you have a physical location that you drive to every day where you're working on this business from. Maybe you're working out of a bedroom in your house, at your kitchen table, whatever. Just put the address in there where you're working from, okay? So I'm just gonna do an example. Test 1, 2, 3. Orlando, Florida, 32801. Just go ahead and fill all this information out, okay? Nickname, reference only. This is going to be, I'm just going to call it my name. Okay, it's just a nickname you need for this. And go ahead and click on create. Okay, good. It says you've created sender. Check your inbox at support@hiddensocialtraffic.com to verify your sender identity. Okay, so it's going to send an email to that inbox that you have set up. Again, if you have not set up a professional email, I'm going to put a link below where you can go ahead and buy a professional email to your domain. Okay, get you set up with an inbox. If you already have one, then use that, and then it's going to have you verify that. Okay, so that's the first thing SendGrid wants us to do, specifically because these are brand new accounts. All right, because this is a new account, it's like, hey, set this up first. All right, now that that's out of the way, we can actually move forward. So the first thing we want to do here is come down and click on sender authentication. Okay, you can see when we do that, we have a couple of these things here. We can see domain authentication, link branding, all this stuff. Where we want to focus our attention on right now is going to be right here on domain authentication. Okay, and you see where it says get started right here. Let's go ahead and click on this button that says get started. You're going to see a 1 and a 2 right here. 1 says which domain name server host do you use. Okay, so in this program, we are using GoDaddy. If you're using something different, just find it on this list, and that's where you're going to select. If you're using ClickFunnels, you're going to use DN Simple. So if you bought your domain inside of ClickFunnels, you want to use DN Simple. For the sake of this video, however, I use GoDaddy, okay, and that's what I recommend in the program. So we're going to use GoDaddy. All right, that's step 1. Step 2, it says, would you also like to brand the links to this domain? The answer is yes, because we want the links to come from your email address. It's a couple extra steps, but we're going to knock it all out in the next phase of this. So again, pick the domain name registrar that you use. I use GoDaddy. And step 2, click on yes. And when you're done with that, come over here to this button over here on the right and go ahead and just click on next right there. Okay. Now it says, enter your domain and edit any additional settings. Domain you send from. Again, mine is hiddensocialtraffic.com. Okay, even if you're using a subdomain, it doesn't matter. It just wants the domain. Do not put www. Don't put any of that stuff. Just put the actual domain. Again, I'm using hiddensocialtraffic.com. You're going to be using something else. When you're done with that, go ahead and click on next right here. Okay, now it's going to give you all of this crazy techie looking stuff that, like, literally I have no idea what this stuff really even does. Okay, and you might be looking at it thinking the exact same thing. Not to worry, I'm going to show you exactly what to do with it. Okay, the next tab I want you to have open is your domain in GoDaddy or wherever your domain registrar is, whatever you're using. I want you to get to the DNS management of that domain. So if you're using GoDaddy, I'm going to walk you through the beginning on how to do that. When you log into your GoDaddy account, over here on your name, go ahead and hit the down arrow and just find My Products, okay? At the time of making this video, that's where it's located. If they change it up, just find where it says My Products, and that's where you're gonna wanna click, and then scroll down on your domains until you find the domain that you wanna use, okay? I'm using hiddensocialtraffic.com, so I located this domain right here, and all I wanna do is click on DNS right here, okay? When I do, it's gonna bring me to the actual records right here under DNS. And what I want to do is add a couple of new records inside of here that SendGrid's given me the info from, okay? So it says type, CNAME, host is all of this, and I'll show you how to do this in a second, and points to this, all right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to hop back into GoDaddy where it says add right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on add. The type right here, I'm going to select CNAME, okay? The host, if you remember, let's go back to SendGrid, okay? The host is right here. However, I do not need to put .hiddensocialtraffic.com. That does not need to be included. If you do include it in GoDaddy, it probably will not work. So what I want to do is grab all the way up to before the dot. Do not grab the period right here. Grab all the way before it. And what you're going to do is you're going to copy that, and you're going to put that right here in the host, okay? Just like that. That's simple. Where it says points to, we're going to hop back over to SendGrid, and I'm going to copy this whole thing. So you can just click on the copy button here because it's going to grab the whole thing. See, it says points to. Back in GoDaddy where it says points to, I'm just going to line that up, and I'm going to click on next. That's simple, okay? And we're just going to repeat that process all the way down. So I'm going to keep going through, right? I'm going to click on add again. Type is going to be another CNAME. I'm going to come back here to SendGrid. I'm going to grab just the first part. Remember, all the way up before the period. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that here in the host. All right, same thing. Points to, let's go find the points to, SendGrid.net. Same thing here. Just copy this right here. Come back to GoDaddy. Okay, click on GoDaddy, and then let's put points to, paste it right in, and click on save. Okay, that's 2 of them. All right, let's keep going through this process. All right, back to SendGrid, another CNAME. I'm going to copy just the beginning all the way before the period. Do not copy the period. If this doesn't work for you, there's a good chance you might have copied that period in there. Make sure you go back through your records and ensure that you did not copy it. Back to GoDaddy. Let's add another CNAME record down here. The type is CNAME, host, paste there. And this one's going to point to a long string of these characters. I'm just going to copy that, come in here, and paste that in and click save. Okay, back to SendGrid. What's the next one? It's S1 all the way to domain key. Again, do not copy that period. Back to domain. Let's select another CNAME record here. Okay, really repetitive, I know, but we are cranking through this. All right, and then let's go ahead and copy its equivalent right here. You just copy the whole thing. Okay, again, just points to, entire thing goes there. All right, and last but not least, we have one more CNAME record all the way right here. Okay, when you grab that one, this is the last one we have to put in. Click on add CNAME, throw this bad boy in here, and then copy its last thing right here. Okay, paste that in and click add. Boom, you are done. All right, now back into SendGrid. Okay, when you're done with this, make sure that you click, I've added all of these records down here at the bottom, and click verify. One thing I do want to point out here, because it's probably going to give me a hard time, is that it can take up to 48 hours to verify all of your records. So if you click this button, verify, and something goes wrong, which could happen, it didn't, fortunately it didn't, but if something happens and it's not working, it can take up to 48 hours for it to work, okay? If after about 2 days it's not working or you feel something's wrong, reach out to us and we'll kind of help you on that, okay? You can see it says it worked, return to sender authentication, okay? Now that I'm in here in authentication, we're good to go. Obviously this says failed because I have not really done anything to verify this, okay? Again, it's gonna send me an email to verify. I just haven't done it yet for the purposes of this video, but you do want to verify a single sender. Again, if you did not do it in the beginning of this, make sure you do it at this point and you actually fill out this information appropriately and create it, okay? You can see here it says I'm unverified. It's just because I have not done any of the actions I should have done, like check the email and verify it, okay? So until I go into that email inbox and verify, I'm gonna keep getting this error, all right? So that is up and running. Your SendGrid is good. What we can do now is we want to log into ClickFunnels, okay? Because we have all that set up, the next piece of this is we can go into ClickFunnels. You do not need to go back into your domain name registrar. That is off the table. So now that we're inside of ClickFunnels, we want to actually attach SendGrid into ClickFunnels. And the way that we're gonna do that is log into your account. When you do, highlight over your avatar up here and click on account settings, okay? When you click on account settings, it's going to bring you to like the main dashboard page here of your profile and your company. On the left-hand column here, go ahead and click on email integrations SMTP, okay? You're going to see a screen that looks like this. It's going to say transactional or transactional plus marketing. You want to select transactional plus marketing. Go ahead and click on that bad boy. And it's going to bring you to this screen where you're going to have to fill out a little bit of information. So title is whatever you want to call this. I'm just going to call it SendGrid, okay? Just so I know what it is. From is the from name that's going to go into the inbox. So if you ever opened up an email before, if you've opened up my emails before, you'll notice it probably says Blake Newbar as the sender. Same thing here, okay? I wanted to say my name. From email, again, this is the email associated with the domain. It's very important you have an email associated with the domain. If you do not, it probably will not work, okay? So I'm gonna use support@hiddensocialtraffic.com, okay? Again, the email needs to match the domain. Because I'm using hiddensocialtraffic.com, my email is gonna be something at hiddensocialtraffic.com. In this case, I'm gonna use support. SMTP server, there's a lot of stuff here, okay? The server right here, and I'm gonna go to the help doc just in case. Don't wanna mess this up. It's smtp.sendgrid.net. All right, I'm gonna plug that right in here. Okay, again, it's smtp.sendgrid.net. If you type this in, I see a lot of people make the mistake. They kind of get the T and the P or the T and the M backwards, and they'll type in STMP, and they'll wonder why it's not working. Please, very specifically, it's smtp.sendgrid.net. The port is 587. Literally, just copy exactly as I'm doing on this. Copy exactly that in. 587. SMTP user is going to be API key. Just spell that out. API key. SendGrid has made some changes with the integration in ClickFunnels. No longer is it a user and a password. It's what's called an API key. And then the password is really the API key, which I'm going to show you how to set up. So under SMTP user, make sure you type in API key here. SMTP password, we're going to hop back over into SendGrid. And when you're in SendGrid, you're going to scroll down here and you're going to find where it says API keys on the column right here on the left, and go ahead and click it. When you do, you probably have nothing right now because this is a brand new account. So we're going to go ahead and click on this blue button at the top right that says create API key. When you do, just name it. I'm just going to call this ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels, name it whatever you want. It's just for you internally. No one else is going to see this. Okay. And make sure it's on full access. And once it is, just click on create and view. When you do, it's going to give you this API key. It says, please copy this key and save it somewhere safe. For security reasons, we cannot show it to you again. So just in case, I would save this, okay? Open up a Word doc, open up a Note doc, put this in there, save it on your desktop, just in case you ever have to reference it in the future. If the integration breaks for whatever reason, it's just a really important thing to do. So make sure you save it. I'm going to copy it. Just double click and you can copy it. It'll say copy here. And then once you copy that API key, we're going to go back here where it says SMTP password. You're just going to paste that giant API key, okay? SMTP domain, all right, this is going to be sendgrid.net, exactly as is, okay? Sendgrid.net right here. All right, domain is your domain. I'm using hiddensocialtraffic.com, so we're good there. Address, this is, again, same thing, wherever you're conducting business from. So whether it's your house or an actual physical location, just put your address in. I'm just gonna do, this is a test, Orlando, Florida, 32801, country, United States. And that's it for the address. The last piece here is your SMTP footer. Below this video, I'm also gonna put that, it looks like code. It is code. Copy and paste exactly as is, okay? I'm just gonna run to this help doc really quick and grab it. It's all right here. Okay, what this is, it puts, if you ever look into an email, okay, if you go into someone's email, and below the email, it's kind of their business address and things like that. This is what this does for you, okay? So make sure you fill it out with your company name, which might just be your name at the time. Your address is right here, okay? If you have a phone number, put it in there. If you don't have a phone number, just delete it. It's okay, you don't need it. If you don't want to put one on there, totally understand. But you do want to copy and paste that in there. And you're good. You are set up right here. Okay, I'm going to structure this as the default SMTP integration, which means this is going to be the main integration I use when I send emails. So click that on if this is your first one, okay? Last thing we need to do here now is come up here where it says, grab this webhook to track spam complaints, balances inside ClickFunnels. Go ahead and copy this, okay? Copy this entire thing right here, and we're gonna hop right back into SendGrid right here. And inside of SendGrid where it says mail settings right here at the left, in the left-hand column under settings, it will say mail settings. Go ahead and click on that. When you do, you'll see this first one up here. It's disabled right now, but it's called Event Webhook. Go ahead and click this icon here at the top right. This little pencil icon. It's gonna slide over this navigation menu. Make sure it says none right here, okay? It's important that it says none, and all you're gonna do is paste that webhook right here under HTTP post URL, okay? Once you paste that in, you're two more things away from being fully completed. On this step, where it says deliverability data and engagement data, you want to select dropped, bounced, delivered, opened, clicked, unsubscribed, and spam reports. Okay, again, select dropped, bounced, delivered, opened, clicked, unsubscribed, and spam reports. When you do that, the last thing you're going to see down here is event webhook status. Go ahead and click on enable. Make sure that blue box is on the enabled right there, and then go ahead and click on save. Okay, it says success. The event webhook setting has been enabled. The last thing we want to do is hop right back over into ClickFunnels. Click on verify email settings right here. It says email settings are good. We've sent you a test email. Make sure you save this off. Make sure you save your SMTP settings to enable sending. The last thing you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom right here and click this magical button that says save SMTP integration. When you do that, it's going to save the bad boy off. Okay, it says success. SMTP integration successfully created. We did it. That is it. Okay, that is how you set up your SendGrid. All right, I know I probably went a little fast. All right, but the beautiful thing about this is you can stop, pause, watch, do. Okay, go through this is the most techie thing, and the fact that you know this now, like you have tech skills that most people don't have just doing this. I told you I'm terrible with tech. But if you can follow along with the directions I just showcased you, you can now start sending emails, which is huge because emails inside of this program not only drive sales, but the fortune is in the follow-up, and a lot of your campaigns to come after this is me showing you how to insert follow-up email sequences to regain and capture revenue. That means more money in your bank account, okay? So I know as techie as this felt, I promise you it is for a very important reason, and that is to increase your bank account, nurture your leads, and provide value on an ongoing basis. And the best part, it's automatic. All right, so go ahead, watch this video again. Make sure you have your thing set up as is, and I'll see you in the next video.